Wagwan y'all, it's Dimz. With the great new news and footage of Riot's fighting game currently dubbed Project L, it has me and many others very excited. This excitement is warranted because it has all the potentials to open a lot of doors and avenue with Riot coming into the fighting game scene or the FGC in general. However, not every possible door that this could open may be a good one, which led me to make this video today. Here is 5 concerns I have with the potential release of Project L. Well, let's just get this one out the way. This game is being made by Riot Games. Riot Games is a company with a history of bad business practices and stumbles with its employees and its consumers alike. Now, I know Project L is led by the Cannon brothers and other notable members of the FGC who we care about and would want to support. However, this does mean that our support will also go to Riot, who you should definitely be skeptical of and ask if Riot deserves your support. Now obviously, Riot isn't the only bad or questionable company in the video game space. There's Activision Blizzard for obvious reasons, and even SNK in the fighting game space with their dubious ties to the Saudi Arabian government. Now, I do believe people, and to a lesser extent, companies can change. But the question should be, is the company actually making changes? Have they been correcting the issues? Is it enough for you to give them your support? Listen, all I'm saying is, you should strive to support companies that support you, and do not turn a blind eye to the misdeeds of these companies just because they're making a product that you're now interested in. Also, keep in mind that the statement, "there is no ethical consumption under capitalism," doesn't really apply to luxury items like video games, cause you can just not buy the video game. Alright, my next concern, microtransactions. Now, in this video, they said,
and we operate with one approach. If we wouldn't like it, we won't do it. When it comes to monetization, we promise to be respectful of both your time and your wallet.
But I really want to know, what does that really mean to have respect for our time and wallets? Because I doubt the Cannon brothers or whoever leads that team for Project L has complete control over the prices that they charge. So, I'm kind of curious, what does that actually mean? It concerns me. Yeah, for example, in Valorant, another game by Riot, it might be free, but there are some microtransactions that make you really question the word micro. Like, let's take the dragon weapon skin set in Valorant. It's like $60. Like, that is ridiculous for even a free game. Obviously, I know it is cosmetic and we do not have to buy, but the fact that they're putting things like this in the game at all, it's kind of telling. And then it makes me think, for fighting games, what microtransactions would they charge for? Characters, alternate costumes, extra colors, taunts, heavens forbid frame data? And then on top of that, how much would they cost? Because I already know a lot of these things would have a price tag, but how much? And then how much content will be available for players who don't want to spend a dime? Would they be able to get any costumes or anything? Would they be able to achieve anything? Would anything be unlockable, or will it all be behind a cosmetic paywall? That's a concern of mine. My next concern has to do with what platforms will the game be available on. We know that it will be on PC and it will be free to play, but will it release on consoles at the same time? Now I pretty much only game on PC nowadays, but it does concern me when it comes to local fighting game tournaments. Local tournaments that host fighting games usually host these games on console because it's easier and more straightforward. Not many locals can afford to have events with PC setups, and they can't really ask their competitors to bring their own PC setups because not everyone's PC setup is portable or, the specs differentials. So until we get an announcement that Project L will begin a console port, this will still be a concern of mine. Actually, on that note, let me roll over to my next concern is how would Riot treat tournaments and grassroots events with that host Project L? Riot is coming into the FGC, but we don't know how they'll feel about these events. And, would big events require to be sponsored, sanctioned, or even licensed? Obviously, I believe that the Cannon brothers wouldn't let something like this happen, but you never know. Then again, it's highly unlikely for a company to do this unless they're named Nintendo. And last but not least, my final concern is how much actual game will be in this Project L game. What I mean by this is, will there be any single player content of any kind? Because it seems like recently and lately for most fighting games nowadays, all you really get is versus mode, training mode, online mode, and I guess arcade mode thrown in the mix if you're lucky. And that's about it. There seems to be less and less single player or even fun content in fighting games. I do know the main focus of fighting games is the versus mode, but after that's done, it seems that companies only focus on competitive play about it. I'm just concerned that Project L might do the same thing, especially since it's a free-to-play game. Cause look, here's some simple but fun ideas that can be done that, without going too crazy. Let's say have a survival mode, and in that survival mode, make it co-op, where two people can play on one team since there's two characters on one team. Then, while you're at it, if there's gonna be two players on one team, why not in one of the versus modes make their support for 4 players, so that every character on screen can be controlled by a different person, so you can have a true 2v2 battle. Then do these same modes, but also make online an option, so you can play survival mode with a friend online, or you can just have a 4-player, fight with your friends online as well. As a matter of fact, why not make one of them a ranked option, where you and a buddy can go up against someone else's team in a ranked mode of 2v2, where there's 4 people simultaneously playing. It's just something that small and something that simple that would probably yield great results. Anywho, those were my 5 concerns that I have with Project L as of right now. Obviously, my concerns may change when we get more announcements on the game. The game currently is probably a year or 2 out before even release. And though I have concerns, I do have immense excitement for this game and the possibilities it could bring. From, the notoriety, the influx of more players to the FGC, to even the potential massive prize pools that Riot can afford and provide. And heck, it might even get the FGC out of the poverty state that we currently are in. Anyway, I do hope that you do not turn a blind eye to some of these concerns and things because of your excitement, but I do hope that you are excited of the prospect of something great happening to the FGC with this game. With that said, my name's Dimz, and I hope you all have a great day.